The Mark Thompson Show.
Fridays bring a guy in who is remarkable to me. And I say it and I really mean it. I can't believe the amount of, what would you call that, product, or what is that stuff you take in? I mean, movies and film and content, I guess would be the word. The content that this guy takes in, and music. He really is the culture blaster, and that's why he calls himself the culture blaster. Comes and goes on a rainbow. He is Michael Snyder, everybody. Hi, Michael.
Hey, Mark, and an official hello to everybody, including the wonderful Kim, obviously Albert, Tony in absentia, and the Remarkables. We are so grateful that you're out there supporting the show. Congratulate me. I have been added to the bill at the Great American State Fair in Washington, D.C.
Oh, I love that.
I'll be doing my critically acclaimed tribute to Lee Greenwood. You know me, Mark. I'm
That
proud
is
to be an American.
Damn straight, buddy. Damn straight.
I sealed the deal by agreeing to paint myself reflecting pool blue for the performance.
I'm wildly enthusiastic.
It's going to be me and Vanilla Ice. No Brett Michaels, no Martina McBride, no Milli Vanilli. No problem. All kidding aside, with all these cancellations, is there any chance they wheel old Greenwood out there to blather about patriotism? I did hear.
Well, I mean,
Don't talk to me that way.
They booked Mike Lindell and his singing pillow to take the slot abandoned by
I love that plan.
Morris Day and the Time.
Yeah.
Anyway,
all right.
all that foolishness aside, let's talk a little bit about movies.
Morning.
What do you say? Okay, now, it's not opening wide this weekend, just in select theaters. That generally means New York, Los Angeles, maybe Chicago, San Francisco. But I am going to lead with Power Ballad, since it's one of my favorite movies of the year so far.
Oh.
It's a little flawed. It's a little superficial here and there, but it's got the inescapable good guy charm of Paul Rudd on its side. And it does get some things right about the entertainment field, and it doesn't wrap up quite how you might expect from a crowd-pleasing movie about a musical bromance gone sour. And another thing in its favor is that it was directed and co-written by the Irish musician turned filmmaker John Carney, who has never failed to delight me with his tuneful movies, and they include the Oscar winner Once, which I'm sure you're aware of, the contemporary singer-songwriter's story Begin Again with Keira Knightley and Mark Ruffalo, the 1980s coming-of-age rom-com Sing Street, which I absolutely adore, and there was the long-distance musical collaboration dramedy Flora and Son. All of those movies are highly recommended. Let's move on to Power Ballad, though, the film that we're talking about here. Carney is working with Rudd and ex-boy band heartthrob Nick Jonas. And this is a cautionary tale about the creative process, IP ownership, and the cruelties of the business part of the music business. Rudd plays Rick, who is an almost over-the-hill rocker. His recording career never panned out. He met someone while on tour in Ireland, fell in love with her, married, and had a daughter. So years later, he lives with his wife and now teenage daughter in a modest house in Dublin, Ireland, and makes a living as a singer in a wedding band. So he's playing this posh wedding with the group, and he learns that one of the guests is former boy band star Danny, which is the Jonas role. Of course, one thing leads to another, that being a drunken songwriting session where Rick plays one of his unrecorded songs for Danny. They part company, and Danny subsequently elevates his previously shaky solo career with the song that Rick wrote, slightly tweaked, and takes credit for writing this massive hit recording.
Oh, I love it.
So Rick spirals at the news, especially when Danny's manager, Carney favorite Jack Rayner, is in the role. He essentially tells Rick to take a hike, so aided by his best friend, who happens to be the wedding band's good-natured guitarist and is played by the movie's co-screenwriter Peter McDonald, Rick decides to take action. So if you know anything about pop music history, you know this is something that has happened time and again. I myself have experienced a variation of this. I won't go into details.
No, where your idea was taken by someone else and they claim credit for it?
I won't name names, but yeah, I've experienced this.
Wow.
And meanwhile, the performances in Power Ballad, including Rudd's singing, quite good. And the hit song in question is good. It's co-written by Carney and Scottish musician Gary Clark. Like I said, it's a crowd pleaser, and I consider myself in this particular crowd, Power Ballad, in select theaters.
Love it. What's next?
Well, Mark, this is of specific interest to you, and you'll understand why as soon as we get into the guts of it. Pressure is a World War II drama about the events leading up to D-Day. the Allied forces' assault on the beaches of Normandy, France, that turned the tide against the Nazis. Hey, do you remember when the Nazis were the bad guys?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
We've been here before on the big screen, by the way. The Longest Day comes to mind. It's one of the greatest, most spectacular pre-computer effects war movies in cinematic history. So what's different here? Well, Pressure focuses on the decision-making at Allied headquarters in England regarding this crucial military offensive when bad weather threatened to wash it out.
Oh, yeah,
So
the meteorologists were key and everything.
that means we get to see these heated powwows between American General Dwight D. Ike Eisenhower and British Captain James Stagg, a Tweedy meteorologist who was certain that a storm's a coming.
Did they go to the cute weather girl at the chroma key or not?
You kind of wish, but no. But I want to say, in other words, Pressure is not so much the longest day as it is the longest weather report. As a former weatherman / meteorologist, I thought this would resonate for you. To its credit, it does feature the always compelling Andrew Scott as Stagg, the talented Chris Messina as his skeptical American counterpart on the Allied Weather Watch, and the versatile Kerry Condon as Ike's British personal secretary and purported paramour at the time, Kay Summersby. Oddly enough, I didn't buy one of my favorite actors, Brendan Fraser, as Eisenhower. It's not that he's bad. I mean, I love the guy from George of the Jungle, The Mummy, Rental Family. He's just not Ike to me. He just kept coming.
He's a pretty good actor. I mean, I don't know, but I'll have to.
It's a solid performance, but I just wasn't.
He wasn't Ike-ish enough for you?
Not really.
Okay.
No. They
All
needed
right.
an older guy, I think. Look, it's not that Pressure is bad. The heart's in the right place, and it's homing in on an aspect of the D-Day story that's not that familiar,
Sure.
which held my attention. Somebody did research, probably director and co-screenwriter Anthony Maris. But for a movie concerned with potentially devastating rainfall, it can get pretty dry. To be fair, well-executed battle scenes. But I guess there's only so much excitement to be found with squabbling weathermen in uniform, even when those guys are played by the likes of Scott and Messina. Here's my forecast for Pressure. Partially hazy with a few welcome moments of clarity.
No, I was going to go partly cloudy, but I'll give you. I think you went there first, so good for you.
Yeah,
Pressure is opening wide.
Yeah, it's in theaters, and it's solid for what it is. Damian Lewis is also in the cast. It's talented people involved. It just wasn't as thrilling and exciting as I
Not
hoped
enough
it would be.
Nazi weather guys for you, Michael Snyder?
That would have been better. As you can see, a cold front is coming in from Siberia. Okay, for the uninitiated, creepypasta refers to a type of horrific paranormal internet story that's delivered or told online as if it's true. This has been around since digital media started sprouting up here and there. The myth of the Slender Man is one example. That actually was
Of course, yeah.
disseminated via the internet. And obviously, it's bunk, but there you go. So, developed from director Kane Parsons' Creepypasta web series with a script by Will Sudick, Back Rooms is a disturbing and seriously surreal amalgam of horror and science fiction with a little infusion of psychodrama.
Wow, I'll ding amalgam.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
So you got failing furniture store owner Clark. He finds a portal in the basement of his Santa Clara showroom that leads to a massive maze-like series of connecting rooms with all sorts of debris like chairs, tables, and a stop sign, some of which looks like it was teleported into the walls, ceilings, and floors. Like a failed teleportation.
Oh, that's wild.
So it's very surreal. And as the store owner, Clark
Let me just
tries...
stop you there. There's something, at least one other film where like a furniture store becomes a portal to something or a time machine.
There's portals everywhere.
No, but I mean particular to furniture stores.
I'm trying to think...
I mean, I'm getting this from your review.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I remember this, IKEA Blood. That was just one of the scariest horror films I've ever seen in my life. It's
all right.
Swedish,
The
though.
science is ridiculous.
I know.
Go ahead.
Anyway, so as the store owner, Clark, tries to figure out what and where he stumbled into, there's also the possibility that somebody or something is down there with him. So if Clark is caught into this like 1990 set mystery, it's a little period. Who's minding the store while he's there? What's going to happen when he misses an appointment with his therapist? These are some of the questions that are answered. In addition to this being a wildly trippy escapade with impactful and sometimes subtle special effects, it greatly benefits from Academy Award level actors in the main roles.
Wow.
Chiwetel Ejiofor from 12 Years a Slave, The Life of Chuck, Eleanor the Great, Children of Men. He plays store owner Clark. And here's something recent. Renata Rensby from Sentimental Value. She got all the love for that at the most recent Oscars. She was in The Worst Person in the World. She plays the therapist, Mary. And you get actor and acclaimed indie filmmaker Mark Duplass in a very small but significant part.
Sure.
And speaking of filmmakers, noted genre directors James Wan, Sean Levy, and Oz Perkins are among the producers of Backrooms. They obviously bought into Parsons' freaky nightmare vision, and so did I. Yeah, Backrooms is in theaters.
But is it scary?
It's more chilling than scary, and it's not gory particularly. It's twisted, and it's what I guess people call this sort of thing elevated horror. In other words, it doesn't lean on gore so much as it kind of works dread. And for that,
okay. So it's almost a psychological.
And clearly Clark has some issues with his failing store and a broken marriage. There's a lot of good stuff in here, and they deliver. I walked out of there going, wow,
Wow. Okay.
Maybe I'm a chump. All right, let's wrap up the movie segment with The Last Viking. Now, this is a dark comedy, a violent crime story, and a family drama all in one, and it succeeds on all three levels. It's also a Danish movie with subtitles, and it features yet another phenomenal performance by the magnificent Mads Mikkelsen, who I think is one of the best actors in the world. And he's paired with the dynamic Nikolai Lai Kaas as siblings in crisis. Now, this comes from director and screenwriter Anders Thomas Jensen, who previously worked with Mikkelsen and Kaas on 6 other movies. They've all collaborated before, so there's kind of an easy, comfortable shoe thing going on with them working together. And one of the recent ones they did, I love, the absolute banger, Riders of Justice. So essentially, this is about Kaas's character, Anker, who is he robs an armored truck with some people, and he thinks he's gotten away with it. He ditches his millions in a locker. He has the key, and he gives it to his brother, Manfred, and says, you've got to go get this and then bury the money near where we used to live, and then I'll come out and get it. And at that moment, the cops track him to the apartment where Manfred, their sister, and our hero, quote unquote, Anker, happened to be, and Anker gets jailed. The problem is Manfred has dissociative identity disorder, and he's got suicidal tendencies. This is Mikkelsen's character. And he can't remember where he hid the money bag after he does it. Plus, he believes...
This is the brother, or this is
the brother.
Okay.
The money is initially left in a locker. Anker gives Manfred the key and says, go to the locker, bury the money near where we used to live.
Sure.
Mom's house,
right?
And then I'll come out and get it. It's just an easy way to do this. But
Sure.
unfortunately,
it's a wild idea.
Manfred
But
has these issues, and he begins to think it's like 15 years later, and
Right.
Anker gets out of jail, and Manfred his issues are he thinks he's John Lennon. That's his issue. He thinks he's one of the Beatles.
So this is a comedy.
It's a comedy. It's a crime.
I like
action
the heist part of it. Now it sounds more comic.
It is very comic, and it's also kind of poignant in ways because it's, dealing with this family issue and the siblings that have had problems all their lives.
Sure.
It's just beautifully done. And the only way they think they're going to get Manfred to remember where everything is to make him think that the Beatles are getting back together. I mean, there's some really
funny.
There's some funny stuff going on here. I really enjoyed this a lot. It's in select theaters and available to stream on demand. It is, again, called The Last Viking.
Good stuff. Anything else? TV shows or anything at all, Michael? Before we say goodbye,
I want to mention something that's very near and dear to my heart.
Mention away, Michael, please.
Spider-Noir started on Prime Video, and it's a show that makes really good use of Sony's longtime rights to Spider-Man and all of his associated characters. The company has teamed up with Marvel to provide Nicolas Cage with a dream role.
Wow.
Spider-Man Noir, who is a super stylish alternate universe version of Spidey, who lives in a noirish 1930s New York City populated with versions of his supporting cast, and a few newbies, like the Spider, which is how he's known, is a grizzled, gun-toting older private eye, making Cage age-appropriate in the role. and he has all the usual powers, but he's given up wall crawling and web spinning until he's forced back into super heroic action by the strange villains that start to crop up in the Big Apple. Mark, you can watch each of the 8 episodes right now on Prime Video in eye-popping Technicolor or silvery black and white. You make the choice. Do you want to watch it in color or black and white? Purists might prefer the latter, since it is, after all,
well, it's noir.
Spider-Noir.
Yeah, exactly.
Spider-Noir also has some supporting work from really good actors, including Lamorne Morris from New Girl playing Robbie Robertson. And, oh my God, is that really him? It's Jack Houston. He's on board as Flint Marko, a.k.a. the Sandman. And finally, Brendan Gleeson plays mob boss Silvermane. It's right in my wheelhouse, Spider-Noir. And
this does feel very much for you. I
wraps
agree.
it up. This weekend is going to be fun. I think I'm going to go to an art opening at KP Projects on Saturday night. That would be the work of Camille. Oh God, there's always
so many artists, Michael. It's probably tough for you to keep track of them.
Well,
all.
I do my best, Mark.
You support the art community, but oftentimes you can lose who you're supporting.
No, she's got a compound name, Camille Rose Garcia. That's at KP Projects tomorrow. And afterwards, I'm seeing the Rollicking Rock and Soul Review, The Magnificent, at Permanent Records Roadhouse on the east side of L.A.
Wow.
A great band, and go-go dancing by the beautiful Mona Santana.
You're a big dancer, too. That's got to really hit you.
I love it.
I love it. Well, I'll just review quickly those wonderful offerings that Michael has reviewed for us. Spider-Noir, which is the Nicolas Cage offering. He really likes it. Says, check it out. It's both black and white and also a non-black and white available. But it is noirish, so you may want to go with the black and white option, and that's, again, on TV. The Last Viking, the Megs Mikkelsen offering, is a bit heist. It's a bit comedy, but it is directed by that Anders Thomas Jensen, who did Riders of Justice. It's something that you really like, and it's intrigued me. And it's also on demand as well as in theaters. And so for you couch potatoes,
the family dynamic is really at the heart of it. These siblings have issues, and man, Mikkelsen is a trip.
Backrooms is the failing furniture place, isn't it?
The owner of a failing furniture store finds a portal in the basement of the store.
Another basement portal. It's a 1990s mystery, and Michael really liked this. He said it's a winner, and so that, and also, by the way, has a winning cast, which he really was surprised by. These are Oscar winners who are all in this Back Rooms, which is in wide release. Pressure is about the events leading up to D-Day, and the Allied military having to depend very much on weather forecasts and weather forecasters. And Michael liked it, didn't love it, felt there were some good performances. He felt there was a solid performance from Brendan Fraser, but he would have liked to have seen someone else cast in the role of Ike.
And you can't complain about Andrew Scott. I mean, the guy is a titan. He's just wonderful.
Pressure is in wide release. Power Ballad is the Paul Rudd, Nick Jonas offering, directed by John Carney, who did Once, Begin Again, Sing Street, and he liked it a lot. Michael said it's not a perfect movie, but there are some twists and turns, and ultimately the resolution will surprise you. Power Ballad, which involves obviously the singers and songwriters, and one taking credit for a song that he actually didn't write, but he did turn into a hit, but he nonetheless claimed credit for it. It sounds interesting to me. Now, it's not in wide release. I guess it's limited release this weekend.
Yeah, I hope it gets out to as many people as possible. Anything John Carney does, I am on board. And again, the other Carney movies I mentioned, you can find them out there in the ether, and I recommend all of the ones I mentioned.
It's called Power Ballad. Michael, I recommend you and your writings there at thevoicesf.org. Check them out. It costs you nothing to go to thevoicesf.org. And Michael will make your trip worth it. Yeah, you always like to, you talk about all kinds of things, not just movies. I really like your stuff.
Well, I enjoy doing it. And in fact, it's kind of one of those cases where we're able to get into greater depth because it's in print. Some of the things that we reviewed last week on the Mark Thompson show, I was able to dig deeper into. I love boosters and tuner two movies.
Oh, Tuner, I was just mentioning last night to Courtney. Yeah. You liked it,
I
right?
highly recommend that.
Now, that's in theaters only, yeah?
Right now, yeah.
Okay. TheVoiceSF.org. He comes and goes on a rainbow. The brilliant Michael Snyder, everyone.
So long. I'll be back next week via remote from San Francisco.
Love it. Love it.
The Mark Thompson Show.